Imagine this. You just bought the brand new DJI Mini 5 Pro. It's sleek, it's powerful, and it promises to be your ultimate flying companion. You're already dreaming of breathtaking shots, smooth flights, and freedom in the sky. But what if I told you, hidden inside all the excitement is one massive problem that could flip your experience upside down? And here's the real kicker, this problem might not just affect your drone. It could affect you directly. Stay with me, because once you know the full story, you'll see the Mini 5 Pro in a completely different way. And the truth is, most people buying this drone right now have no idea what they're walking into. Now, here's the thing. DJI has always been ahead of the game, tiny drones with insane cameras, safety features that make you feel like a pro pilot even if it's your first flight, and portability that fits right into your pocket. Sounds perfect, right? But perfection always hides a shadow. With the Mini 5 Pro, that shadow is bigger than most realize. Let's rewind for a second. Think back to the Mini 3 Pro and the Mini 4 Pro. Both of them had their issues, connectivity drops, unexpected firmware bugs, even a few stories of drones taking a mind of their own and flying away. But with the Mini 5 Pro, the problem is not just about technical hiccups. It's about risk. A kind of risk that reaches into the heart of your privacy, your safety, and even your wallet. And here's the first mini hook: the biggest danger of the Mini 5 Pro is not the drone itself. It's the way it interacts with the world around you. Sounds dramatic? Maybe. But let me explain. The Mini 5 Pro comes loaded with more sensors than ever before. It's smarter, more automated, and more connected. But that also means it's constantly gathering data. Where you fly. How you fly. What you capture. And the scary part? That information doesn't just live on your SD card. It travels. It uploads. It syncs. And depending on where you live, that could put you on the radar in ways you never imagined. Now, before you panic, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how your phone sometimes feels like it's listening to you? You talk about something random, and suddenly, ads. Creepy, right? Now imagine that same scenario but from the sky. A flying device that not only knows where you are but records it from above. That's the reality we're stepping into with the Mini 5 Pro. And here's the twist, this isn't just about personal privacy. It's about control. Because when you're flying the Mini 5 Pro, you're not just piloting a drone. You're part of a system, a network that's bigger than you. And in that network, your freedom is limited more than you think. Let me paint a picture. Imagine you're out in the countryside, flying your brand new Mini 5 Pro. You're feeling free, capturing beautiful landscapes. Suddenly, mid-flight, the drone just stops. It refuses to go forward. A warning flashes, restricted zone detected. And here's the thing, you didn't even know there was a restriction there. But DJI did. And your drone obeyed their rules, not yours. Sounds safe, right? But ask yourself, who's really in control? You, or the company behind the drone? This is where the biggest problem starts to unfold. Because the more advanced the Mini 5 Pro becomes, the less freedom you might actually have as a pilot. And that shift from freedom to control? That's not an upgrade. That's a trade-off. But we're just scratching the surface. Because what happens if this system fails? What happens when the Mini 5 Pro makes a mistake, blocks you from flying where you're legally allowed, or worse, doesn't stop when it should? Suddenly, the safety feature that was meant to protect you becomes the very reason you're at risk. And that, my friend, is only the beginning. Now that you see the cracks forming, let's dig deeper into why the Mini 5 Pro's biggest problem isn't just a bug or a glitch, it's systemic. Let's talk about trust. Every time you launch your Mini 5 Pro, you're putting trust into three things: the technology inside it, the company that built it, and the invisible rules shaping where you can or cannot fly. And when any one of these three pillars shakes, your whole flying experience collapses. Here's mini hook number 2. The Mini 5 Pro's biggest problem is not that it might fail, it's that it might fail at the worst possible moment. Picture this. You're flying near a lake, everything looks smooth. Suddenly, your signal drops. For a split second, you lose control. The drone hesitates, hovers, then shoots off in the wrong direction. By the time it recovers, it's too late, it's stuck in a tree. Or worse, it's gone forever. Stories like this? They're already popping up in forums. And when it happens to you, it doesn't just hurt your wallet. It crushes your trust. But wait, there's another layer. Because even if your drone works perfectly, the rules around it might not. Have you noticed how drone laws keep changing? One state says you're good, another says you're grounded. Suddenly, what was legal yesterday could cost you a fine today. And guess what? The Mini 5 Pro knows. It's programmed to restrict your flight automatically. So even if you think you're in control, you're not. And that brings us to mini hook number 3, is DJI protecting you, or are they protecting themselves? Think about it. Every restriction, every limitation baked into the Mini 5 Pro, it's not just about your safety. It's also about covering the company's back. If you crash into something you weren't supposed to fly near, guess what? DJI can say, not our fault, we warned you, we restricted you. But for you? You're the one who lost the moment. The shot. The drone. And here's where the story gets even darker. Because while you're worrying about your flight, there's a bigger game at play. Data. Every second you fly, the Mini 5 Pro is logging, recording, storing. And depending on who has access to that data, you could be revealing more about your life than you realize. Where you live. Where you travel. Even patterns of your daily routines. Now, am I saying don't buy the Mini 5 Pro? Not exactly. It's still an incredible drone. The problem isn't that it's bad, it's that it's powerful in ways that come with hidden risks. Risks most buyers never think about. Risks that could make the difference between freedom and frustration. So here's the big question, are you willing to trade your control for convenience? Because that's what the Mini 5 Pro is really asking. And here's the final hook, maybe the Mini 5 Pro's biggest problem isn't the drone itself. Maybe it's us. Our willingness to accept limits for the sake of easy flying. Our comfort with being tracked, restricted, and managed, as long as we get smooth footage. So, next time you launch your Mini 5 Pro, ask yourself, are you flying the drone, or is the drone flying you? And that's why this shiny new piece of tech, as magical as it feels, carries a question that every pilot needs to face, DJI's Mini 5 Pro's biggest problem, are you at risk?